So one of the rules of filmmaking is your eye line is supposed to be about there. I can't remember if it's eye line matching or something like that.
This is brilliant. This is good. We should keep doing this. We're going to have things hanging down or all sorts of silly things. So yeah, I've not prepared anything for this.
Me either.
Yeah, we went to a concert. Yes, we did. We went to a concert.
What's it called? The Crazy World of Frank Zappa.
That's Arthur Brown. I keep calling it Zappa's Universe, but that was the one while he was still alive. There was a plan to have that kind of touring without him. This is called the Zany. No, I made that up. Hang on. Card receipt. There you go.
Sweet Jesus.
It's fine. It's not broken. Right. Nothing's broken. Take 4. Yeah. The Bizzarre World of Frank Zappa. That's what we went to see. Birmingham Symphony Hall. It was a good concert. There was controversy surrounding it. I'm completely out of the loop about this, so I didn't know anything before we went to the concert. All I knew, I thought it was going to be one of the hologram shows. I had no idea what to expect. And as we came in, the usher said, "Well, yeah, you don't want to sit there. It's going to look crap if you sit there. So we can give you free seats to sit over here." And we were right at the back, up on the balcony, because normally I like to sit at the side. So that was a thing. That was interesting. So there was a concert, and there was Frank Zappa there as a hologram in a thing. It was like he was inside a box. So he's like he was further back than everyone else because he's inside this projection thing. I wasn't impressed by the technology. The thing that it's a hologram of him. It was kind of 3D, but it didn't matter. You know, it could have just been a video of him, and that's fine. You know, but the show of all the animations and stuff is a great idea, and I really enjoyed a lot of it. But more important than that was the band, and it was kind of 82, 84 band with a different drummer, which is interesting.
Give us some names then, Kev.
Yeah, so we've got Scott Tunis, we've got Ed Mann, we've got Robert Martin, we've got from the 88 band, of course, what's his name? The guitarist, and the guitarist's name is not written anywhere on this album. Mike Keneally. It is Mike Keneally, not Mike. Yeah. But Ray White as well. Yes. How awesome is that? And what a voice! What a great voice. And for me, it was far more about the band playing. I don't know if this is controversial, but more than the unheard tapes being played of guitar solos and things, which were great. There was a disconnect between the band playing and the recording, you could tell. For me, it was much more about hearing the band play, which was fantastic. So that was a thing. The set list was strangely kind of crowd pleasing in that there was the popular songs, which surprised me a bit because I don't think that audience is there now. This is hardcore Zappa fans now, so they want to hear the crazy stuff. But there was a nice mix, and there was a couple of songs which are a couple of my really favourite Zappa songs that aren't big songs, so that was good.
Some people were really into the songs, weren't they? Whooping and stuff at the back.
Yes. There's well, I'll let you talk now. There was a thing at the end because I remember I know nothing about this, so it was a bit strange at the end. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Do you want to do your thing?
Yeah. So I'm from a slightly different position than Kev. I don't know who Keneally is and Thunis is and
Thunes.
Ray White, whatever his name is. And I only knew some of the songs.
You knew some of the songs though.
Yeah, Stinkfoot. And others I recognised. And yeah, so when we came in and the guy said, "Look, I know you've booked those awesome seats there,
yeah,
but we're going to stick you in the middle of this row here with everyone else.
Squished together with people, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, we really have, this is about Hologram Frank Zappa, we really have got to sort of...
Yeah, we need to see it as it should be seen.
Yeah, what they're trying to do. And, you know, So we went with it. And actually, we swapped seats at half time, didn't we?
Yes, we did. There was actually a bit of a gap down in the stalls.
So we said, can we go sit down there? And
Yeah. Symphony Hall is brilliant.
Yeah.
They were so helpful.
no, well, then you said, yeah,
You
go
can
for
take drinks in. You can just walk in the concert place. You don't have to, they're not worried about the bar. They just let you bring a drink in.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
it. So from a sound point of view, I thought the sound. Normally you expect great sound at Symphony Hall. I actually thought it wasn't set up that well in the sense that it was very bass heavy.
The sound was better up on the balcony,
Yeah.
but the visuals were better down on the ground,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I mean, it sounded to me
Really
like
bass, yeah.
the whole show was geared towards the bass guitar.
Especially Scott Tooney's,
Which
it's
was
his show. It's
obviously awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
The point where I saw the guy playing the glockenspiel, and I was like, is he actually playing that? But obviously he's
Yeah,
playing in
man
time.
is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously he's playing in time with Frank Zappa. He's sort of and I could pick it out. It was there, but it was very, very sort of hard to pick out.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing. I mean, these massive bands of all this stuff going on. It's funny, I've never thought of it before, but mixing it is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because we're used to Zappa's done his thing with and overdubbed and made it perfect and all the rest of it. That's the recordings we're used to.
Yeah. So for comparison's sake, I haven't really got much to draw on. The only thing I can really draw on is The Wall, because that's obviously a heavily visual
Yes.
thing that we went to see, and it's not going to compare to The Wall.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so it is, with Kev here, this is quite a new concept for me. I was interested to see how the hologram will fare out, and because of that, I found myself having sort of almost like a philosophical existential crisis in the middle while they're playing, thinking, okay, should I applaud this? Song comes to an end, do I applaud it? I'm applauding a recording of a hologram, yeah? But
Yeah,
I know theoretically what I'm actually doing is applauding the band.
Yeah.
But actually,
They didn't play it.
It kind of...
Oh, you're applauding the backing, not the fronting.
It's sort of... It brings that to the front, you know.
Yeah.
Actually...
What is that? What is it? Was it a concert?
You think you're at a concert, and generally this is sort of like, it takes you to other concerts that you've been to, and, you know, when you applaud, what you're applauding. So when we go to see Stephen Wilson, we think we're applauding the band, but actually Stephen Wilson is the cipher for that band. And what they're doing is they're replacing the cipher for the band with a hologram. So it's sort of like, well, that guy hasn't actually done anything now. It's a recording, yeah.
Yeah.
What am I doing it? And
there's no eyebrows. He's supposed to come on and put the eyebrows on the music, so he's not done that.
It's really, it's quite strange. Then I'm asking myself, well, I'm hearing a guitar solo here, which sounds pretty good, but am I hearing a guitar solo or am I hearing recorded for a guitar? I had to ask you. So is one of those guys playing that guitar solo, or is that a recording? And you said
it's an unheard recording.
Yeah, it's an unheard recording.
Yeah, of the audio, not the visuals. There's bits of visuals, okay, but here's the thing. This muddies it even further, right? The hologram, the proper hologram of Zappa, okay? It's not him. They used Ahmet's face for the face expressions. I assume they use actors and stuff for all the stuff, and created a 3D model of someone who looks like Frank Zappa, but it's not Frank Zappa.
That was going to be my next point. You know, where has this footage come from?
Yeah, it's not real.
And it's not
real. It's not him.
It's
actually not him.
It's very I mean, it does actually. If you didn't know there was hologram stuff going on, and you walked in, and you were sat, you know, where we were sat, you would probably say, well, there's a bit of funny lighting on that guy there, but maybe that's because he's the lead guy. You could believe that was a real person.
If you only saw that bit, and you wonder why he was standing in a thing. But yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, you could. Yeah.
It does seem, again, it seems a little bit weird that he's sort of separate from everything else.
Yeah.
It's almost like it does look staged. He sort of walks on or wisps in.
Yeah.
And then there's no one around him, and he's just sort of playing his guitar and singing into the mic and stuff like that. And it looks a little bit, well, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, and there's like a big gap.
Yeah.
Because it's quite a big rectangle. Obviously, no one's going to stand in front of the thing. So
no one's around it.
Scott Tooney's is almost sort of playing with him, but he's too far away.
But it's
pretty weird.
It's interesting, you know, but I mean, this sort of develops further. I find myself thinking, well, what the hell does this mean for music? You know?
What does it mean? Yeah.
I mean, you could have, it could be the end of live performance, essentially. You could have someone like Justin Bieber playing in multiple venues at once.
Yes.
So he's playing a concert in Toronto or wherever, and this is beamed to Birmingham, London, Paris, Barcelona, Redditch Palace Theatre,
Yeah.
and you've got hologram on the stage, which looks pretty damn realistic.
Yeah.
Playing the music as it's being played, and broadcasting. I mean, at some point you would guess that they would actually tune that as it's broadcast, so they fix any sort of like discrepancies,
Which will be done live anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then so how long would that be before before the hologram technology allows that to happen? How long would it be before all performances are like that? And your chances, and you wouldn't even know
Whether you're at the concert or at the projection.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? He's not actually. He's doing his own one where there's no people,
Yeah.
and they're all being transmitted.
But then,
Yeah,
I mean, the following phase after that is, well,
he doesn't need to be there at all.
it doesn't need to be there at all. You could record it earlier in the day.
Yeah.
On the same stage, whatever. Make sure they get it right. Then broadcast it all over the world, and it looks real.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
even further,
Yeah. 50
that-
years later.
that's ageless.
Yes.
You could
200 years later.
You could be watching the same artists once
same
they've got
concert.
once there's a suitable library of artists. You could be watching the same artists on loop for forever.
And it would be like a live concert.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously it's taken a huge amount of trouble to recreate Zappa because the technology wasn't there in time, But now you can do the 3D recordings of people and then just recreate everything they do.
And you go to think, well, would Zappa be into it? I would have thought Zappa would be horrified by that notion of where
I think he probably would.
this
to be
could
honest.
go.
Yeah.
So then there's a sort of conflict going, well, I'm actually watching something that is supposed to be celebrating Frank Zappa, which could potentially undermine whatever he went for. And then you realise I'm thinking this in the middle of a concert, which I should be watching and enjoying. And it also made me think, well, when we go to concert viewing, I should bring a little notebook or something like that to rock, because I had all these things going on in my brain while I'm watching
I had
it.
an awful lot to say at the end of the concert and don't remember half of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, as I enjoyed the concert, but maybe if I was a little bit, the fact that I was more engaged in a slightly more philosophical internal dialogue.
But what the hell are we? What is it? What is it? I suppose so.
Maybe I'm not enjoying it as much as I should. I felt some of the actual visuals were quite meh. I thought actually round about the interval, it was just lots of lights and stuff like that, and I thought that was a bit shit.
Because that was just the band playing. That was my favourite bit, because it was just the band playing. It was awesome. They were playing, and they played Zomby Woof, and they played What's New in Baltimore. They're two of my favourite Zappa songs, and they're not big songs. So that, for me, that was the highlight of the concert. There was no recordings. It was just the band playing and just sparkly.
And all the animations, like the stop motion animations.
Yeah.
Are they old?
I think it's all new. I think so. No, plasticine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the plasticine is Zappa has a whole library from this guy who did loads of stuff. Some of it is in the.
I think I remember watching a DVD where they had some of that.
Yeah.
Going on.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
all
thought,
from
well,
the
this
same.
is okay. Maybe people have seen this before, and how exciting is that? So you are sort of condensing the new stuff into 1 or 2 segments. I mean, he doesn't appear that often, does he? There's one point where he's conducting a band of ours with his back to you, and you're like, well, what's amazing about that?
Well, I think that was number 2. Is it number 2? But obviously, what they could do, you can have an orchestra now. It doesn't have to sound like a synclavier and take 4 weeks to do it. You had an orchestra of were they pigs? Were they?
Owls, I thought.
Owls, I can't remember, but they had an orchestra of animals playing with the band. What I think was number 2. I think I could be completely wrong about that. Whatever the proper Zappa orchestra stuff with the band playing, and that opens up. That's the thing. Had he lived, the technology would have enabled him. What it would have enabled him to do would have been amazing. Yeah. I do think there's controversy that I didn't know about towards the end. It went so quick. The concert went so quick. It was really weird. Ladies and gentlemen, Ahmet. What? Oh, it's Ahmet. Oh, Ahmet Zappa. Okay. And he's a lunatic.
Oh, God. That was crazy. That was cringy. Who was it? The girl was obviously a plant.
I don't know, because she didn't do much. There was lots of fake laughing like she was just embarrassed. So I'm not sure. At London, it was Diva. It was Diva Zappa. Apparently, not someone from the audience, so I don't know. I don't think she was a plant.
I think she was. I watched her and I thought, nah, that's not. Real people aren't like that.
Okay, no, maybe, yeah. But yeah, Ahmet's a lunatic and he's crazy dancing to Dead Girls of London. I don't know if maybe in London they didn't have someone from the audience because they were doing Dead Girls of London. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. So I didn't know any about that. So it turns out, yeah, this is Ahmet's thing, who's, of course, we all know has fallen out with Dweezil. Dweezil's doing Zappa Plays Zappa, which is, of course, him playing along with his dad. And Dweezil spent a year, or however long it was, learning to play exactly like his dad with the same guitar and all that stuff. And that was his thing. That was 2006 or something that started, didn't it? And he's still supposed to be touring. So Ahmet is doing his thing, where he does a 3D hologram show of Zappa. And Ahmet comes on and dances like a lunatic. So that people are thinking this is like a sort of a screw you to Dweezil. But despite all that, and despite the sort of existential, what is it we're watching? Ultimately, it was we need to spread the word. We don't want this to be. This should be remembered. It should not be forgotten. When they played. Oh, it was Father Oblivion. They played the Father Oblivion. I don't mean Father Oblivion. I don't mean that. I mean the Father Oblivion suite from '72. They played that. Yes. Mike Keneally going crazy on the guitar and stuff. It was, and they had all the albums going past, and he did an intro saying, is there anyone new to Zappa? And about 3 people put their hand up. Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? And he said, right, we'll start with one, and if you like the cover, and do it that way. And, buy the albums, listen to the music. It's so daunting. There's so much of it, but just dip in and just getting people to get into it. And Ray White did a speech. I couldn't hear what he was saying, unfortunately. Now, of course, Ray White didn't do the '88 tour. He left in the rehearsals, and it wasn't revealed why. And subsequently, people have said it's because he's a Christian and he was really uncomfortable with some of the lyrics. Unsurprisingly, maybe it was something to do with that. And he was saying, "Yeah, it's okay now," or something. I don't know. I couldn't hear what he was saying. The guitarist on the right, what a singer! Though. Still a fantastic singer. I noticed Robert Martin had to slightly change some melodies. There's some very difficult stuff he used to sing that he went a bit lower. It didn't matter. It's great to hear the two of them singing. So that was awesome. But like you said, Ed Mann was really like right in the background which used to be so much up front in the sound, and much more guitar now. Strangely. Now the guitarist isn't with them, and they've now got 2 stunt guitarists. That's the way they did it, interestingly.
I mean, listening to the controversy, I have to admit, I do think, I do wonder what Frank Zappa's opinion of it would be. Mm-hmm. I would have thought he'd say, don't do my stuff, go and do your own stuff.
I think he probably would. Yeah. It's not, we don't know, obviously, but there was the thing towards the end of his life, he was saying, people would say, how you want to be remembered? And he said, no, don't need to be remembered, forget that. Not important. And he wanted Gail to get out of the industry, sell all the stuff, get all the money, and live on the money. Don't be in the music industry. It's awful. That was his thing. So whether he just didn't want Gail to have to go through that, or whether he genuinely thought he didn't want them doing that, we don't know, obviously. But they all have, basically.
I mean, if it's good enough, it'll survive. People will play it. I'm sure a lot of people have been influenced by Frank Zappa, so musicians will be playing it for a long time. And then at some point, the world will discover it again, and it will be like, oh, there's this whole world of stuff we can do, and they'll try and recreate it. I think actually having Zappa family involved actually confuses matters.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Because I mean, he went to great pains to say, oh, this is about, well, not great pains, but I mean, there was definite emphasis put on, like, we're trying to keep the music alive sort of thing. Yeah. Which makes me think the natural perception is, oh, we're cashing in. We're cashing in on Zappa Light. Mm.
Well, yeah, had it just been the 80s band, the 80s band are doing a tour, I would love to see that. Exactly. But they won't be playing the Birmingham Symphony Hall. They probably wouldn't have been playing Europe. They'd do a few shows in the US. Yeah. So it enables it to happen. I don't know. To me, that's what I wanted to see. I don't know if actually people are there to hear the unheard guitar solos, which is another thing. And there is an unseen video TV special, something that is completely unseen. And apparently there were bits of that as well in some of it. I assume maybe the close-ups of Zappa singing, which were actually him when it wasn't the hologram. Maybe they were from that. But like I said, I think the set list was too easy. It was too lightweight. I was surprised, So they played Camarillo Brillo, which is that was the encore. That was okay, and in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the set list up. Let's make this easier. And I noticed the first 3 songs, first 4 songs are all very similar. They were the bluesy thing. I think. Let's see if I can remember. It was Cosmic. They opened with Cosmik Debris. Great. No, I can't.
I have to admit, I thought something very similar in the sense that, well, he's got this great breadth of work and the same pick in and pick out, but actually, it does. By the end, I was thinking, well, this all sounds kind of samey, really.
Yeah,
and that's something strange to say. I would guess about Frank Zappa.
Yeah, where there's so much stuff. Yeah, but there was a particular selection of a particular style, and the first 4 songs, it really struck me that why don't they just put something? And later on, they did play different stuff, but there was maybe it's just the songs that Ahmet likes. It could be, or maybe they're taking it easy. Apparently, this is almost the first leg, figuring out what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they could be taking it easy with the set list. But they don't need to play Dinah-Moe Humm, which is funny. And they had the lyrics coming up, which is funny. I think maybe... It did occur to me, actually, that if you didn't have the lyrics coming up, you wouldn't know what it was about. Because you realise how fast he sings.
Yeah. Yeah, I without those words, I wouldn't know.
You can't make me go. And all that. Right, what we got? 17th of May, so this was yesterday, so this isn't the one we saw. Oh, Montana was second, of course it was. Yeah. So Cosmik Debris, Montana, Trouble Every Day, Penguin in Bondage. Penguin in Bondage has a bit more going on, but still, they're all the bluesy songs. It's interesting that Trouble Every Day was introduced as Trouble Every Day, and it's listed here as Trouble Every Day. It's actually more Trouble Every Day. He didn't play Trouble Every Day, and since the 60s it became the edited version. And obviously that was very cool, and they had lots of stuff that used very like The Wall. Newspaper stuff and all that kind of thing. But after Cosmik Debris and Montana and Trouble Every Day, they're all bluesy, very, very samey songs. I thought that was odd, the one that mixed it up. But after Penguin in Bondage, which had really cool visuals, actually, of little penguins that are funny. Apostrophe. And weirdly, I didn't identify it as Apostrophe. It was, wow, Scott Toonies is doing heavy bass. I thought, wow, he doesn't do that normally, does he? Of course, it's Apostrophe. It's Jack Bruce. Originally, but yeah, Apostrophe was fantastic. And then they played The Evil Prince, and I didn't identify that either. I just thought, oh, this is good. Yeah, so this was the 4th. They're doing consecutive shows. It was 4 consecutive shows and then a day off. This was the 3rd or maybe it was 5 consecutive shows. This was the 4th. What's New in Baltimore and Zomby Woof were the band. They introduced the band, and then the band played, and that was great for me. Now, I'm a big fan of those 2 songs. And they're not big songs, so that was great. But yeah, then they opened the set with number 2. It is number 2 with him. What were they? Owls? Did you say?
I think they're owls.
I thought they were pigs or sheep or something. But yeah, basically they can program an orchestra to sound like an orchestra by just putting the data in from Zappa's original thing, and it plays it, and the band can play along, which is much easier than it was back in the day. And Why Does It Hurt When I Pee? Well, that was a big 80s song, so I can see them playing that. Peaches on Regalia. I think it's a European thing that's his big song, and it's popular here apparently, not so much in the US. I think we see it as his signature tune. Yeah. Stinkfoot, Father Oblivion. I forgot they played the Dangerous Kitchen. It was a version of Dangerous Kitchen I haven't heard. I think obviously the band, but the Zappa singing was. I think a different version. Maybe it was a studio outtake. It didn't sound like the album version, and it didn't sound like any of the live ones I've heard. And then Dinah-Moe Humm, City of Tiny Lights was awesome. Obviously, because you got Ray White, and obviously it was originally Adrian Belew, but Ray White sings it so well. And then Ahmet comes on with Dead Girls of London, and And then they close the set with Dirty Love. Why are they playing Dirty Love? And then Cheepnis and Camarillo Brillo for the encore. That was great. Yeah, so it's a great set of songs, but maybe too conservative, I think, maybe. Or certainly at the start. Anything else to say?
Maybe food for thought. When I was waiting for the bus afterwards, which I didn't get in the end, I ended up getting a taxi because I was waiting forever.
Oh, right.
There was waves of people coming. I was like, what the hell's this?
Was that from the concert?
These aren't all Frank Zappa fans, surely. Lots of women.
Well, it wasn't the Frank Zappa.
Apparently Rick Astley was playing at the arena. That for juxtaposition.
Now, you see, if Frank was there, that would have been a thing in the concert, wouldn't it? They would have done some Rick Astley songs. Oh. Yeah, I was wondering if, because Ray White was there, how are they toning down the stuff? I don't think there's any religion stuff in there. Interestingly, the only political stuff is Trouble Every Day. I think it's just the rude stuff. It's the sex stuff. Is lots of that. So maybe it's a thing, and maybe they didn't put, Heavenly Bank Account or any of that stuff on there. Maybe, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. So it was definitely one of those ones where can't we just see it again, like afternoon in midweek later on? You only get to see it once. That's annoying. I'm looking forward to the Blu-ray of that, which I will get definitely.
Cha-ching.
Mm. So that was May the 13th, and then they were down to London on the 14th, and let's see if the setlist is any different. Because they can't change it hugely, can they? Because
it depends what they've got.
Yeah, they've got all the footage going on, so it's like the Wall, isn't it? It's just going to be what are they going to play? Well, they're going to play the Wall. Oh, Dead Girls of London was the Encore in London. Interestingly, after Dirty Love, which closed the set. Other than that, it was the same. Yeah, I noticed the tape playing in the background at the start was Cruising with Ruben and the Jets, which was interesting. I mean, normally you don't have the band you're going to see playing, although technically nobody other than Frank, nobody there is actually on that recording. So yeah, concert rating, it's probably 5 lemons and 3 batteries.
Ooh,
and an ounce of ham.
I reckon it's
good. It was good. If you like Zappa, you should see Zappa play Zappa and this.
It's good. It's not like wow, I would say.
As a fan, it was awesome. If you don't know Zappa and you're not sure, then you should get into Zappa and you go to the concert. See, and if you don't like Zappa, then obviously you shouldn't go and see it.
I'd take their recommendation. Pick an album and start listening to it.
Yes, you need. You need to know it a bit. You need to have some knowledge. You need to have as much as you've got before you go to the concert. Otherwise, it would just be completely baffling, completely overwhelming. So much going on.
Yeah.
I think that's the worry with the, spreading the word and all that. It's so impenetrably daunting that it's not like Beethoven or something where you can just play people that.
And it's not like Sarah said, well, who is Frank Zappa? And I said, well, there's not like a famous song I could quote to her that she would have definitely heard of.
No.
To say Frank Zappa. All I could say, well, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. And she was like...
He inspired it by his concert being ruined.
And she said, oh yeah. I said, well, yeah, that inspired that song. Oh, right. That doesn't tell her anything.
But I bet she'd heard the name.
I'm sure. Well, actually, we went to a christening last year up in Newcastle, and at the cricket ground where the little party thing was, there was a bench dedicated to Frank Zappa.
Oh yeah, wasn't there a photo of he was there? Was that somewhere else?
No, I don't think. I didn't see a photo there. But he had Frank Zappa with his.
I think there's like a really early photo of him and Gail in Birmingham. Maybe maybe in Birmingham. Yeah. But I bet more people know Moon. His daughter's called Moon Unit. I mean, actually she's called Moon, and her middle name is Unit. Than know any of his music.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the aim, unfortunately. But but maybe that works. In that everyone knows there is a thing called Frank Zappa, but you've got to venture forth and enjoy the awesome.
Be brave.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Another concert review.
Dun dun dun.
High
fidelity.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time for more
things.
Small Sam and Kev at the bottom of the screen.